Hi, guys. Just a quick note before you listen to the episode. I want to apologize for the sound quality you are about to hear. I recorded for 40 minutes only to realize that I chose the wrong mic in my recording studio. So my sound sounds really bad. So I just want to apologize. I didn't have time to record the episode again. So I hope that you can bear with me for, the next 40 minutes or so. It really is a good episode. I am very proud of it. So I hope you can, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, suck it up for just a few minutes, please. I don't have time to record it again, and it was really good, and it was really funny, and I don't know how to fix it. Sorry. So I apologize again in advance for the sound quality. Hopefully that won't happen again. But anyway, enjoy the show, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm really sorry. Thanks.
Insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel, insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel.
Hey guys, and thanks for coming back for another episode of Dysfunction Junction. I'm your host, Kim. I would like to apologize for my voice. It is not because of a cold. It is not because of allergies. It is because I had to scream louder than my children to get them to listen to me. So, I like to put a nice shout out there to my son Jared for being a giant butthead today and making me yell like a crazy person. But hey, what are you going to do? I hope all my dysfunctional parents had a good week. So far, so good over here. Besides, screaming like a mad woman. But Mercury is coming out of retrograde, so that means things are starting to calm down over here. And for people who don't know what that is, about 3 or 4 times a year, Mercury speeds past Earth, creating a powerful gust of wind, which then puts Mercury in a retrograde period. And when that happens, it can really affect how we live here on Earth. And I'm going to put a link in the show notes. But basically, astrologists say that Mercury rules all types of communication, and that includes listening, speaking, learning, reading, editing, researching, etc. And that means a lot of technical stuff too. So I think that's why when I was having a really hard time with, Caden and Piper, and they were really having a hard time listening and doing what they were told, and even talking to us, because Piper was a really mouthy. I think that's what it was. When Mercury retrograde was at its peak, they were at their peak, and now it's coming down, and they're, coming down. Piper's been an angel, so I don't know what's going on. Caden's still a butthole, but what are you going to do? He's 4, So anyway, I'll put a link in the show notes about more about Mercury retrograde. But I've already put the next one on my calendar already, so I can be ready. I still can't believe I had to yell at my son today so bad that I wasn't yelling at him like, I can't believe you're this, you're that, la, la, la. I was just yelling. He has a habit because he does, this is part of his Asperger's, where he constantly has an answer for everything, and he has a really hard time reasoning sometimes. And so we were just going over and over again about this. This is the thing. He's 16. He's going to be 17 in May, and he's, he took driver's ed. He's putting his hours in for driving, and he thinks that when he, gets his driver's license, that he's going to be taking our car everywhere, and it's just not happening. He doesn't understand that you just can't hop in the car and just drive wherever you want. You got to put gas in the car. You got to take care of the car. You have to have insurance and all this stuff. And he just doesn't get it. So then that got him talking about how he hates that it's, April vacation and we're not going anywhere and we're not doing anything and we never do anything. And I'm sorry. I mean, he's right. He watches these YouTube videos where these families who get paid lots of money to do these videos are out vacationing in the Dominican Republic. They're going, on to Disneyland or Disney World or wherever. They're just going on these big, extravagant trips, and we just can't do that. Number one, we don't have the money. Number two, we don't have a family that would, help so that we could, with younger kids that, if we wanted to take the older kids anywhere. And I have to work. I have a job, and I don't get a lot of, I don't have a lot of vacation time, especially since, my husband had surgery a few months ago and I used up all that time. And before that I had a kid, and then before that I had another kid and then another kid. And so there's just not a lot of time left. And then whatever other time I have left, I use it to take the kids to the doctor's appointment or take the kids to the dentist. And, when they're this age, they just don't see the bigger picture. They're very selfish human beings, these teenagers, and they only focus on them and what they're going through and how they're feeling. And so finally, there was a lot more that went into this conversation, of course, but it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And basically I said, if you want to go somewhere on the weekends, you could call up your buddies and have them, eat. I'll drive you to a friend's house. He never asks. He never asks to go to a friend's house. And he never asks to have anybody over here. And then when we do ask him to go out with us, he doesn't want to go. He wants to stay home. So when I try to show that to him, he fights with me and he always has a frickin' answer. I hate it. The kid should be a lawyer because he's a magnificent debater. Anyway, so I told him, and I said, you want to go somewhere? Then go. Get out. Put your shoes on. Go for a run. Get out of here. Sorry, I'm sure that sounds horrible, but he did. When he came back, we did talk, and he apologized, and, he was starting to see my, my point there, but anyway, he's fine. He's a good boy. It's fine. So I was having a really difficult time. I shouldn't say difficult, but I was really unsure about what I wanted to talk about this week. Then I got a message from my mom telling me that I should do a podcast about her. So that got me thinking. So I was still a little perplexed about what I wanted to do, and I walk almost every day at lunchtime at work. And I was thinking, as if she wants me to do a show about her. What am I even going to talk about? And I started thinking, maybe I can talk about how different our parenting styles are. Or maybe I can talk about how she's right about a few things. Just a few things. That, not too many. Just a few. But one big thing is about how I am more like my mother than I would like to admit. But not in the way you think. I think at some point we all turn into our parents. Like that stupid commercial. I don't know what commercial it is. I think it was the Geico commercial or whatever. And, they're basically married to their parent or their mom, their spouse turned into their parent or whatever. Their spouse turned into their parent. Yes, that's it. Or whatever it is. I think as much as we try not to turn out like our parents, I think sometimes it's just inevitable. I think it's just in your genes, And not only have I do I see physical things that remind me about my mom. Because I remember the first day when I looked in the mirror and saw my mom's butt looking at me, I thought my freaking jaw was going to drop to the floor. It was terrible. I was horrified. But I also catch myself making certain facial expressions that she makes, or sitting a certain way that she sits, or saying something that she used to say to me all the time when I was younger than now, I say to my kids. So no matter what you do, there's still going to be some traits of your parents that are going to come out in you. It just happens. It's genetics. I mean, hell, I see things in my daughter that remind me of my sister every day. And I haven't seen my sister in years. The way she'll say a word, the way she'll smile a certain way, or walk a certain way, or laugh a certain way. My boys, Jared looks exactly like my brother. It could be his kid. It's like it is. He looks just like him. That was the first thing I said when I saw him. I said, "Ah, crap. He looks just like my brother. He's gorgeous, gorgeous kid, but he looks just like him." And every time I hear Noah on the phone, he sounds exactly like my brother over the telephone. I think it's a punishment. I really do. Anyway, so back to, being like our parents, and even when you try to avoid it. When I was a kid, my mom didn't take any crap from nobody. Not her husband, not neighbors, not her kids, nobody. Which is good. Could be bad. But you didn't talk back. You didn't share your opinion. When she said something, you did it. No questions asked. There was no counting to 3. There was no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. There was no timeouts. There was no going to your room to think about what you've done. No. If you didn't do what you were told, there would definitely be a shoe, a fly swatter, a wooden spoon, or a hairbrush in your future. Which wasn't the, quote unquote typical white mom, like I said, I never heard before, Kimmy, no, thank you. We don't do that. We don't set fires in the house. That is no. There wasn't, if you don't get over here by the time I get to 3, you're going to be in big trouble. 1, 2, 2 1/4. Kimmy, I'm getting to 2.5. I'm at 2.5. Do I have to say 2 and 2? Do I have to say 2 3/4? Do I? 3. Okay, that is it. You are in big trouble, Missy. You are in the longest time out ever. Yeah. That did not happen at my house. No, never, not at all, not one time. I remember my mother chasing my brother down the road when we lived in Las Vegas with a broom, okay, because he was giving her a bunch of crap. There was no, kindly, no thank you, timeout stuff. No, that did not happen. It would actually go more like this. She would say, "Kimberly Ann Reardon, you get your butt over here right now. Do not make me come over there, because so help me God, you will regret it." And if I didn't get moving after that, I would have had a serious case of whiplash for her yanking me out of whatever I was doing. My mom did not play. She didn't. In some ways, that was a good thing. Because I ended up doing what I was told, but I did it because I was afraid of her, and I never wanted my kids to be afraid of me. Not the person anyway. I want you to be afraid of the punishment that might be coming your way, or the disappointment that, I might feel in you, but never of me. Don't be afraid of me. I would never want them to do something stupid because they would be afraid of what I might do. When I was a kid, I was always more afraid of my mom than my dad. I mean, if I was going to get in trouble, I'd be like, please, officer, call my dad. Don't call my mom because she's going to kill me. And that's just the way it was. And I mean, so you just didn't, and trust me, I did plenty of stupid crap. To be quite honest, I'm lucky that I'm even alive. Really. I was always in some stupid situation, someplace I shouldn't be. And it was just stupid, but I never wanted my kids to be in a stupid situation because they felt they couldn't call me or trust me that I wouldn't lose my ever-loving mind. Now, for example, when my oldest was in high school or growing up, and I've had this talk with Jared as well, that if you are ever in a situation where there's going to be alcohol involved, and look, I'm not stupid, all right? I know that there's going to be a time in my kid's life when they're probably going to try alcohol, or they're going to try cigarettes, or they may even, smoke weed for whatever reason it is, whether it's to fit in, whether they're curious, whatever it is, it's probably going to happen. So I don't want to be that naive parent to think, oh, my kid would never do that. Of course they would. I mean, you were a teenager once. You did stupid stuff all the time. I mean, come on. I mean, didn't I do an episode about snorting sweet and low and, trying to smoke gum wrappers? You're stupid. Kids are stupid. And they think that they're, invincible, that nothing's going to happen to them. They're dumb. So don't think that your kids are smarter than they are, because they're not. Okay, but I've always told them that if you get in a situation like that, you need to call me. Yes, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be mad. But wouldn't you rather be mad and have you be grounded than, be grounded for a month and be in the ground forever? I mean, come on. My mom would have just said, do not drink. If you drink, I'm not going to pick you up. That's it. You're going to just live on whatever street that you've crashed on, or, whatever. Don't, because I'm going to kill you. Don't do it. It just, there was no reasoning. I love my mother. I do. But there was no reasoning. You didn't express your opinion. You did not, try to talk your way out of it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was it. What she said went, and period. And in some ways, it's kind of good because I've gotten myself, and not so much anymore because I've kind of nipped that in the bud, but there was a point in my parenting when I always felt, well, let me backtrack. When I was a kid, I always felt like, because my parents wouldn't allow me to express myself to them, like if I was in trouble, instead of asking me, why are you acting this way? What is going on with you? Is something happening at school? Is something happening at work? What is going on? Why are you acting this way? There would be no questions like that. It would be, and there was no counseling or meds or anything like that. It was like, you're going to knock it off, and that is it. I don't care why you're acting this way. Stop it. And I always felt that when I grow up, I'm going to allow my children to at least talk to me and tell me what is bothering them, what is going on. Ask questions. Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? But sometimes I have come to learn, after being a parent for 21 years, is that they don't always need to know why stuff is happening. They don't always need to have an explanation. Plain and simple. So that old saying, because I said so, was created for a reason. It's because you let your kids express themselves. That's wonderful. But then sometimes it just keeps going on and on and on. And it just gets too complicated. And it's just not worth it. You don't need to know. It's a need to know basis, and you don't need to know it. So zip it. Because I said so. Anyway. So now I lost track. What was I saying? So anyway, that's why I always said that I give my kids a chance to express themselves, whatever. It's because I couldn't, and they do, and I do let them, express themselves and get their opinion out. And sometimes, they're human beings, they're little human beings, but they are human beings, and sometimes they get loud, and sometimes when they're hurting or they're mad, they'll yell, and that's okay. But the minute, and I don't have a problem with that. Another parent might have a problem with that. Another parent might find yelling when you're trying to express yourself is disrespectful. That doesn't bother me. Disrespectful to me is when you're being rude and you're putting another person down, and or just even with some certain words that are coming out of your mouth. When you start being disrespectful, if I think you're being disrespectful, then I'm shutting it down. That is enough. You will stop talking, and you will go to your room or whatever it is to calm yourself down, collect your thoughts, and then you can come back and talk to me. Otherwise, zip it. Anyway, back to what I was saying about my mom. Whatever my mom said she was going to do, if she told me that she would, leave me on the road, I truly believed that she would have done that. I mean, I still, to this day, have a reoccurring dream as an adult that I once helped my mom get rid of a body. Not kidding. I would not be surprised one bit that I had suppressed that memory. My mom wasn't afraid of anything. I remember when I was in high school, and I remember this slightly a little bit different than my mom, but I'm going to tell it the way I remember it. Now, when I went to high school, like I said before, my dad was in the military, and my 4 years of high school were spent in Las Vegas. And, excuse me, and I didn't always hang out with the best people. I didn't. I liked the bad boys. I liked running with a little rougher crowd. So I wasn't always in places that I should have been. But one time, my best friend and I, and Leck, if you're listening, you might remember this. My best friend and I, and went to another friend's house, and it was a really bad part of town. Like I said, I was hanging out with people that I really should not have been hanging out with. So, and for lack of a better word, and people out there might be upset with me when I use this word, but it was basically like low income housing, or the projects, or Section 8 housing, whatever you want to call it, but it was bad. But I loved it there. I had the best time there. I really did. Well, I thought I did back then. I thought it was great. I love those people. I love the people. We had a great time. They didn't judge. And I had a good time. Lots of drinking, lots of smoking cigarettes. Really shouldn't have been there. I was under 18, under 21, but at the time when you're 15, 16, 17 years old, it's the best time ever. Anyway, so the way I recall it was I wasn't supposed to be out because I was sick. That's how I remember it. I was sick. I was supposed to be home. And my parents had went out. Oh, maybe, did they go out? Maybe they did go out. Maybe I was babysitting. I don't remember that, though. I could have sworn. Because my mom remembers it, that I was supposed to be babysitting, and I left my siblings at the house. But I just don't remember doing that. I've always remembered that I was sick and I left the house and I wasn't supposed to be going anywhere. Anyway, either way, I left the house. I wasn't supposed to be going out, and I was sitting in the house. We're listening to music, smoking cigarettes, maybe having a beer or something. I shouldn't have been there. I was 16, 17 years old. And the next thing I know, somebody runs inside and says, yo, there's some white lady out there with 2 dogs in her van, man, yelling for some chick named Kim. That's a little bit cleaned up. There was some bleeping and blopping words and blah, 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 right? But me and my friend looked at each other and were like, no way. No way. No way. I said, man, if we would have had enough time, we would have found a way out the back, man, but we didn't. My mother was in that house with the dog telling me to get my butt in that car. And I had a serious case of whiplash that day. I mean, shoot, that lady was crazy. But, and thinking back, I was so embarrassed. I said, oh my God, I'm going to die. I felt humiliated. But thinking back, now that I'm a mother, she did the right thing. She did the absolute right thing. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people, and I just shouldn't have been there. And I'll tell you what, I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. I would definitely go into a very unsafe place with people I didn't know. If it meant protecting my child and getting her out of a bad situation, you damn straight. That's exactly what I would do. Now, this might sound like my mom was a freaking crazy person. Was she a perfect mother? No. Did she make lots of mistakes? Yes, she did. She was a very young mother when she had me. She was 18 years old. I mean, we basically raised each other. And were there times when she was probably a little bit, more physical than she should have been? Probably, and does she, and she probably wishes that things were different. But all of those things turned me into the person and the parent that I am today. Am I perfect? No. Of course not. But for the most part, I like the person that I am and the mom that I am and the wife that I am. Could I be better? Of course. We all could. I'm not a physical disciplinarian. I never have been. And for the simple fact, I never, ever. Sometimes I felt like my mom would discipline out of anger. And when you discipline out of anger, sometimes you lose control, and I never wanted to be that person. I never wanted to not be in control of my emotions. That doesn't always happen. I probably yell more than I should. I probably have a shorter patience level. But I've never been physical with my children. Have I swatted a butt a time or two? Of course. Have I smacked a child of mine upside the head more than once? Absolutely. But, listen, to be honest, I am that parent that does the timeouts. I'm the parent that is like, excuse me, no thank you. No thank you. Don't touch that. No thank you. But I'm also the mom that would go into a bad neighborhood and drag their kid out of a bad situation if I had to. But I'm also the mom that's going to let her kid express themselves. I will. I'm going to let you express yourself, and I'm going to let you tell me that you're mad at me, or I made you mad, or I hurt your feelings. I could tell my mom back in the day, you hurt my feelings. My mom would say, suck it up. Suck it up. Knock it off. Grow up. I don't think that's fair. They all grow up at their own pace. And their feelings, whether we meant to say things a certain way or not, that's how your child is taking it, and that is their reality. So you suck it up. You're going to say things that are not the right thing. You're going to say things that are going to probably hurt your kids' feelings, and they're going to say things that are going to hurt your feelings because you're a human being too. You know, I'm also the parent that will shut them down once they start being disrespectful. You can tell me in a respectful way that I hurt your feelings or that you're angry or whatever it is. You don't have to be rude. You're not going to tell me to shut up. You're not going to tell your father to shut up. You're not going to swear at me. That's not going to happen. That will not happen. You know, we don't get instruction manuals on how to be a parent. But if we did, they'd all be different. They would not all be the same instruction manuals. There's no one size fits all when it comes to parenting. What works for one kid won't necessarily work for the other. It's kind of a, on the job training type of thing. However, it would be cool if there was a book that would tell you exactly what to do when your 4-year-old is swearing like a sailor. Wouldn't it? You could pick up that book, go to the index, and look, okay, swashbuckler, swashbuckling swear. Here it is, 57. 57, 57. Oh, here it is, 57. Promptly scold your child with a firm but kind voice and remind him that we do not talk like that in this house. And if that does not work, quickly wash the child's mouth with a safe for ingestion soap. For a list of these soaps, please refer to page 100. If this does not work, you are screwed. It is suggested that you get rid of this book and give up. Man, only if it were that easy. It's all trial and error, people. Bottom line, we're going to make a lot of mistakes before we just start doing things right. And even then, we're not always going to agree on each other's parenting styles. But we can agree on one thing, and that parenting is hard. Sometimes it's scary as hell, but we need to stick together. Otherwise, these little heathens will have us all tied up in the backyard, spinning over an open fire with an apple in our mouth. We can't, we can't take it out on each other. We got to stick together. Anyway, speaking of heathens, I am working on an upcoming episode, and I was hoping that you guys could help me out. And I was wondering what your guys' pet peeves are when it comes to parenting. You got more than one? That's cool too. I want to hear about it. I want to hear it. And I'll go first. Nothing drives me more crazy than when I'm in the bathroom, okay, and my kids will walk right by my husband to come find me on the toilet to open a snack for them. I mean, come on, hello. You have 2 parents. You just walked by him. You know the guy that's sitting in his chair on his cell phone? Yeah, that guy. Drives me nuts, all right? But I need to know that I am not alone. Let me know that your kids drive you nuts too. All right? Like I said, it's a surprise. I'm working on an upcoming episode, and I want to hear what it is. All right? But you can, leave me if you let me know on either my website, which is www.dfpodcast.com. You can let me know on all of my social media pages at facebook.com/dysfuncjunk7. And of course, the Facebook group page, which is facebook.com/groups/DF podcast. And if you prefer Twitter, you can drop me a line there. You can follow us at twitter.com/dysfuncjunkmom. And for all you Instagram peeps, you can look us up at instagram.com/dysfuncjunk7. I would love to hear what is going on. What is going on? Going on till the break of dawn. How long have I been talking this time? I think I'm getting better. Did I say this was episode 11, BT dubs? 32 minutes. Wah, 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 wah. Listen, one last thing before I go. Check us out on patreon.com. We got a Patreon page over there. And we are listed at, what are we listed at? Patreon.com/dysfunctionjunction. And of course, it is free for you. It is not free for me. If you would like to donate $1 so that I can at least get my coffee every day, I just go to Cumberland Farms. It's $1. Uno dinero. It would be very much appreciated. I think that's it. Anything else? What else do I want to talk about? I think that's it, peoples. But just a heads up, I am working on some new segments for the show. I'm getting excited. I'm kind of getting the hang of this thing. And I would really love to hear from you guys. And whether if you love it, you hate it, you like my sound quality, you don't like my sound quality, you like my intro, you don't, just let me know. I really enjoy doing this, but I want, everybody to like it too. And I would like to have your opinion. I want to, want you guys to listen, and I want you guys to tell me what you like and what I should change and, what I should not change. And it'd be awesome. And I would really love to hear from you. You can reach me on SpeakPipe right on my website, dfpodcast.com, and share me with your friends. I really like to be shared with friends. I am a share with friends kind of person. So share me, okay? Even if you want to send it to your friend and say, you've got to listen to this chick. She's a hot freaking mess. Listen to this. It's kind of like a courtesy sniff. You know what I mean? Courtesy sniff. You smell something nasty. You're like, woo, oh my God, smell this. I'm like your courtesy listen. I'm your courtesy listen. Tell people, oh my God, you got to hear this. This chick is a nutball. Okay? Deal? Sound good? Okay. So thank you guys again for listening. This has been episode 11. I am really, really enjoying this thing. I hope you guys are too. And that's it. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Insane. You make me crazy. Insane. That's how I feel. Insane. You make me crazy. Insane. That's how I feel.